9:04 a.m. on March 30, 2024. There are 8,038,132,972 people in the world. By the minute, it increases by hundreds. How likely is it that out of all the billions of people in the world, you happen to be among the few to choose to study at your current school, to take the shortcut route instead of the usual on the way home, to choose to buy specific paint among the other 5 brands? What if I told you, this is not fate, nor is it destiny? What if I told you this was simply probability? But what exactly is probability? Probability is a branch of mathematics that measures how likely an event will occur. We can calculate this by using the formula: the probability of A is equal to the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. There are various types of events in probability, such as independent, dependent, mutually exclusive, and non-mutually exclusive events. For independent and dependent events do not affect one another and do not increase or decrease the probability of another event happening. The formula for independent events is probability of A and B is equal to the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B. Dependent events, however, influence the probability of other events, or their probability of occurring is affected by other events. The formula for dependent events is probability of A and B is equal to the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B after A. For the mutually and non-mutually exclusive events, two events are called mutually exclusive if they cannot happen at the same time or if they do not have any elements in common. The formula for this is probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B. Two events, however, are called non-mutually exclusive if they can happen at the same time and they have a common element. The formula for this is probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. Decoding with probability. Directions. Solve the word problems involving independent, dependent, mutually and non-mutually exclusive events in probability. Afterwards, match each answers to the problems with the corresponding letter in the box to form a short code. For probability A, this will become 6/21 because 6 refers to the number of thriller books, while 21 refers to the total number of books. Then, we will multiply this by probability B, which is 9/20 because 9 is the number of romance books and 20 is the total number of books left after event A. When we multiply this, it will become 54/420 or simply 9/70. Our answer 9/70 corresponds to the letter D in the box, so D is our first letter. For probability A, this will still remain 6/21 because this is still the first pick. However, instead of becoming 9/20, probability B will become 9/21 instead because in this case, we return the first book we picked, which makes this an independent event. When we multiply this, we will get 54/441 or simply 6/49. 6/49 corresponds to letter R in the box, which makes R our second letter. The total number of outcomes is 28. For probability A, this will become 10/28 because 10 is the total number of red gouache paint and 28 is the total number of paint. Probability B will become 18/27 because 18 is the total number of non-red paint and 27 because this is the total number of paint after event A, which was chosen without replacement. When multiplied, we will get 180/756 or simply 5/21, which corresponds to the letter E, which means that E is our third letter. For probability A, this will become 4/10 because 4 is the total number of sharpened pencils and 10 is the total number of pencils. Probability B will become 4/10 because the number of sharpened pencils and the number of all the pencils will remain the same after event A because there was replacement, which makes this independent. When multiplied, we will get 16 over 100 or simply 4 over 25, which corresponds to letter A, which makes letter A our fourth letter. Probability A will become 4 over 15 because 4 is the number of red notebooks and 15 is the total number of notebooks. Probability B will become 6 over 15 because 6 is the number of blue notebooks and 15 is the total number of notebooks. Since this is a mutually exclusive event, we will add these two probabilities, which will give us 10 over 15 or simply 2/3, which corresponds to the letter M, which means that M is our fifth letter. Probability A will become 6 over 10 because 6 is the number of milk chocolates and 10 is the total number of chocolates. Probability B will become 5 over 10 because 5 is the number of chocolates with no peanuts inside. The probability of A and B will become 4 over 10 because 4 is the total number of elements that A and B have in common, which is the elements being both milk chocolate and having no peanuts. When we calculate this, we will get 7 over 10, which corresponds to letter B, which means that letter B is our sixth letter. Probability A will become 6 over 10 because 6 is the number of yellow jerseys and 10 is the total number of jerseys. Probability B will become 1 over 10 because 1 is the number of jerseys that have a number greater than 5. The probability of A and B will become 1 over 10 because 1 is the total number of elements that A and B have in common, which is the elements being both yellow jerseys and having a number greater than 5. When we calculate this, we will get 6 over 10 or simply 3/5, which corresponds to the letter I, which means that the letter I is our seventh letter. Probability A will become 5 over 17 because 5 is the number of books written by Oscar Wilde and 15 is the total number of books in the bookstore. Probability B will become 8 over 17 because 8 is the number of books written by Franz Kafka and 15 is the total number of books in the bookstore. Since this is a mutually exclusive event, we will add these two probabilities, which will give us 13 over 17, which corresponds to the letter G, which means that the letter G is our eighth and final letter. The code that we have formed from the letters is dream big. Do not let yourself be discouraged from chasing your dreams. Aim even higher until you finally reach the stars.